Hello, this is Yusuf Çelik, the author of Newroze PS6 debugger, and I basically want to give a short demo of the PS6 debugger that I've been developing for a while now. And the debugger basically exists of two components. The one is the debugging server that's been written in Go and that you have to run first. So let's do that. So I'm starting the PlayStation Go debugger with the right device parameter, and the device is USB serial cable that's hooked up to the PlayStation. So I'll start that, and without specifying TCP port, it will go into 88888, and what I will subsequently do is configure the GNU debugger, the GDB, to listen for instructions on that port, because this server will talk to the PlayStation, and the GDB incoming request will go to the PlayStation and then will come back from the PlayStation through this server to the GNU debugger. So let's now then start new debugger, and you can basically do that by going into a folder with a piece of code written for the PlayStation, an ELF file. So I'm going to do that, and I have hello world example here. So I'll start the GNU debugger. As you can see, I've pimped out my GNU debugger with the GDB dashboard plugin that allows it to basically have more features and better overall presentation. And what I can do now is a variety of things. I could, for starters, load an ELF file, which I've already done automatically with my GDB init file. But you can also simply decide to put a breakpoint. Let's do that. I'll put a break at main, and then you can press C to continue till that breakpoint. And as you can see, we're here now at the 34th point where the breakpoint was just set. And I can print out various variables by just stating print and then the variable name. So now I can do a few things. I could just set an additional breakpoint if I wanted to. So let me just set a breakpoint at 62, and I can press C again, and then the code will run up to that point, and 62 is put display environment. And if I wanted now, I could just, as you can see at line 59, I'm setting a part of the memory buffer variable with the value f 10 times. Now I could see if that's been written. So I could go dashboard memory watch, and now what? Please show me buffer for what? For 10 bytes. And then here above you'll see that it has written indeed 10 Fs. I could say, okay, can you give me the value of counter right now? That's a variable, and we'll say rightfully so 50. Now I could step through the code by pressing S. Let me just step through the code, and then you get to line 63, which is put draw environment. And we could, of course, step further through the code, but we could also decide to step instructions. And right now it's at instruction 134, and I'll just press step I, and it will go to 138, which is load word from the stack pointer into the V1 register. And I could do step I again, and it will go to 13C. And if I'm basically done with stepping through my code and I just want to run it as is without having any further breakpoints stipulated down the line, I could just press C, and it will, unfortunately off camera, basically start to run the code. And that was my presentation.